In this video, I will be discussing probably the most important thing that I could be discussing with this platform. And that is that your life is about to change drastically as a collective and as a personal individual, especially starting with this new cycle of 2023. And even if you watch this at a later year, this is going to be so relevant because it's not just 2023 that's going to be this change, but starting with what is increasing in 2023, that the society has been prepared for many, many years, maybe a couple of decades even, or maybe even more. And I hope that this video changes your life for the better and prepares you for what is to come. I'm not only blessed to have this mission of spreading spiritual messages, but a whole other aspect of my soul mission is advanced technology. And advanced technology has such a bad reputation, just like how money once had a really bad reputation around the spiritual community. And the same thing is happening with technology, advanced technology. When you think about the metaverse, or when you think about the Internet of Things, when you think about artificial intelligence, the real reason why you have a negative connotation is because you've been brainwashed. These powerful tools, such as money, such as technology, all have two sides to this spiritual power as it's manifests on this plane. They can be used in a negative way and they can be used in a positive way. And of course, advanced technology can be used to destroy the civilization, but it simultaneously holds the power to heal the civilization in the same degree if it is utilized in a harmonious manner. And what you probably haven't noticed in the past couple of years, because of all of this COVID and all of this pandemic and all of these different chaotic changes that we've been distracted, is that there's been birthing a huge spread and a huge thriving of machine learning algorithms or artificial intelligence from tech companies that you probably have no idea because it is still in the background. And I don't want to hear about some portrait pictures from AI. That is literally not even a little ice cube of the iceberg of what AI is capable of doing. And I don't want you to get this scary idea, because AI can be used in a positive way and a negative way. But those who are working on that technology right now are not the most benevolent groups of beings right now. In the next decade, that will change, that some very powerful, benevolent beings will have hold of that technology and use it in the right way. But at the moment, the companies that have access to these high-level AI are marketers, advertisers, and social media companies that want to rob you of your attention. Your attention, I need you to understand, is the highest value metric of your whole life. People may have said your time is the most valuable metric in the past, more than money. That's kind of true. Time is more valuable than your money. But when you get deeper into this, actually your attention is the most valuable metric that you can possibly have. And for multiple reasons, your attention is a rendering system that holds the potency to create realities. And right now, certain organizations and agencies are using it for their own agenda. And they're utilizing these artificial intelligence systems, machine learning algorithms, to take your attention. That's basically the goal that they have in mind right now, the people who have access to these AI technologies.
And just to clarify here, when I'm talking about tech companies having hold of these AI systems, I'm not talking about those specific specialized AI that is being offered these days, like OpenAI's system of ChatGPT or the video editors, or all these different specific AI systems that are available for customer use. But I'm talking about very, very complex levels of artificial intelligence. So even the type of different AI platforms that you've been watching pop up these days have been in the works for years now, years and years. But these are still more simplified layers of it. But when I talk about these marketers and advertisings having access to high level AI, I'm talking real high dimensional, high level complexity AI.
In the future, we can literally utilize artificial intelligence to make us better human beings, better spiritual beings. And let me just share this. People are very terrified of this upcoming change with all the technology, but let me give you my perspective. The capabilities of artificial intelligence is very left-brained and to a degree that is unfathomable. Humans have scratched the very surface of what it's like to have a left brain processing system, but it is very unnatural for humans to render that system. What human beings have a capacity to do is whole brain thinking, a synthesizer of multiple different quantum probabilities of cognitive processing. But the fact that we've been really highlighting the left brain approach is very inorganic. When the artificial intelligence systems who are a billion times better at that level of processing and AI decides to take that on, what will happen to humans is not that they're going to demolish, because that's not the whole picture of universal intelligence. That's just one deep facet of it, but it's not the whole. And human beings need to have a better self-awareness that our consciousness is so invaluable that the most intelligent network of AI cannot possibly replicate what we're truly capable of. Even if they become smarter than humans, it's just going to be in one way. So the question is, what is left for us humans? What do you think? But first, we have to strengthen and we have to think, well, if AI is good at processing this cognitive patterns, what are humans even better at processing that is not that? So when we outsource that kind of processing to the exponential degree that we haven't even seen the potential of doing that, what are we left with? It's going to liberate humans to discover what level of consciousness we're truly here to have. And that can be linked to what is referred to as enlightened consciousness. AI, as no matter how smart and intelligent and capable they are, will not be able to replicate humans at their enlightened consciousness. And that's what we're pushed right now to attain, because this change is already happening. And this is the evolutionary pressure that we have. Otherwise, you will not survive in the next decade, or at least if you survive, you're going to be an NPC, a zombie in the Matrix, and you will have no freedom. But when you prioritize this enlightened state, you will thrive and live the most fulfilling and blissful life. So if you find yourself unsatisfied right now, this is your calling and your sign to prioritize that state. And I don't want to hear anyone saying anything about, oh, you're not Jesus, you're not Buddha, you can't claim that consciousness. Well, then what are we here to do? Why are we here as infinite potentials, beings of infinite potential? Why are we here as conduits of source consciousness? For what else? Because you want to place limitations on how things were done before? Jesus and Buddha didn't live in this age. There's a reason why you're here right now, and you better claim it. If not, you're not going to be happy. You're going to become miserable. That's the truth. So let me tell you why 2023. Let me tell you how AI works. AI, of course, has these iterations and levels of processing. That's what they're capable of doing. And they work as a hive mind when they become more evolved. But at the same time, do you know how they learn? Is through feeding data. So when they have more data, when they have more experience interacting with certain bodies of information, they become smarter in that area. And again, who's been utilizing AI? It's ad agencies and social media organizations. So what have they been feeding the data for AI up until this point, and that is going to thrive, is human communication, information, anything that is you're using your mobile device for, apps, mobile devices, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Machine learning algorithms have literally been learning for the past few years while you didn't know what all these companies were doing. They've been literally getting fed so much information. So whereas the AI algorithms and systems still existed a couple years ago, they didn't have that much experience back then. But over the past couple years, they've been fed with so much information and data. And with that level of processing information on that exponential intelligence scale for their cognitive processing patterns, now they know so much about the human mind, about human relationships, about human interactions, about human behavior, about human psychology. They know things about us that you could not possibly know about yourself. And it's going to get more and more and more and more. In the next year, with their level of evolutionary progress in learning, keep learning more and 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 more about you, if you don't prioritize enlightened consciousness and that take that pressure from the whole environment, which people might think this is a negative agenda, but this is on a higher level, all coming from the one infinite mind. This is all part of the plan. And why? Because this is going to push you into enlightenment. Otherwise, you're not going to survive. It's not some lofty ideal anymore. It's mandatory for you to live a blissful life. And if you don't work on that now, and with the process and the pace that AI and machine learning algorithms are making, and all these technologies converging in the near future, you're not going to have a chance. So you need to master your mind now. You need to master your awareness now, so that you're not manipulated by external fields of information or suggestions, and not to lose your authenticity, be able to discern when something is coming from your own sovereign self or environmental influences. And when AI knows exactly how you behave, your patterns, your limiting belief systems, it knows all. And it will know you more and more and more. So you need to enlighten yourself now. Enlightenment used to be a luxurious aspiration. Enlightenment used to be something that is a lofty ideal to anyone in society for as long as we can possibly recall in our cycle of lives with our parents, with our grandparents, and furthermore, other generations up until you, up until this point. For the next decade to come, spectrums of enlightenment, whether it is a lower scale or a higher scale, will become a survival skill. If you don't practice this heightened level of consciousness, heightened discernment in your mind, body, emotions, and the pure enlightenment that you do have access to, and not as something that you cannot aspire for, and not as something that you cannot achieve, that is specially reserved for certain sages. If you don't take the responsibility to claim that potential within your consciousness, you're not going to survive what's coming. If you feel that the current life that you're living is unbearable, or that it's just not what you want to choose, especially if you have the knowledge that you are a spiritual being with infinite potential and you just can't put the two and two together, why it is that you are perpetuating these cycles of dissatisfaction is because you were meant to learn that lesson once and for all, for the sake of evolution of the whole organism that is one, the importance and significance and achievability of human enlightenment. And you need to understand that enlightenment is something that is not only attainable, but is mandatory if you want to thrive in the next decade to come. Many of you know that I ran something called Purity Mastermind for the past couple of years. And no, this is not just another course. It's not just another mastermind. This is my sole service and offering to those who are aligned for it. And this year in 2023 will be the third and final year that I am running this mastermind. It will not return. I've been guided from my council my highest facets of consciousness, that I am to create this mastermind dedicated to enlightenment. And it's an energetic calibration for the whole container. It's not just like content and learning. This is a deep energy session. And you will know if you see some of the insane testimonials that I get from all of the people who finish it. Every module that I have in this container for the entire year is a energy session that calibrates you for this peak state and to basically turn the course of your life and collapse all the timelines and calibrate you into that level of what I call enlightenment. And it is to master your mind. It is to master your consciousness. It is to empower your highest facet of being. And I have no questions to my guides when they say it's going to be only for 3 years. This is timely now. And for some reason, I will have to move on to next levels of service or different facets of service after this year. For me, this mastermind is such a deep process of immersing myself with a grid, immersing myself with a calibration throughout the whole year. So in a year of time, I will have to shift my focus to other forms of service. So this is really the last year. And enrollment is open now only for the next few weeks, and then it closes after the next few weeks. So if you are watching this content and you resonate with me and you resonate with this and the sincerity and devotion that I have to this, this was literally the whole thing, and the whole process which was channeled for this important purpose that prepares you for the next decade to come and calibrate your mind for the next decade to come. The previous members of this mastermind, their life is inevitably and irreversibly transformed. And it's not something that you can put words to. This is a portal and a sacred vortex to calibrate you for exactly what I discussed in this video. So I would love to have you in the grid. Please apply in the form that is linked to this video and in the pinned comment. It's such a pleasure and honor to be at your service and be your comrade in this journey on Earth that we will navigate and thrive through to the next universe together with the Earth's evolution. Thank you so much for your valuable time and attention. I hope that this video has been of tremendous service to you, whether you're interested in the mastermind or not, and sending so much love and gratitude and blessings for the next cycle ahead.